Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I'm here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives and to teach us how to become spiritual beings. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence. I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne and God, it will not stop me. All right, engine number 24. Balance. Balance is coming for us. So let's do a really, really quick love reading, y'all. Not gonna make it too long. All right, God, guardian, ancestors, beings of light, we come to you as clearly, as humbly as we know how to say thank you. God, what information do you have for us to be able to bring in divine partnerships, divine communities? God, we ask that you deliver these messages to us and through us, allow no room for doubt or confusion. Teach us how to become the alchemists of our lives and to help us bring heaven on earth. In God's name I pray. Ashe. All right. Deception. Somewhere is wearing a false mask. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So, and then last thing, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So deception, someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. And honestly, for some reason, with this message of forgiving and learning, I wasn't really getting the message that it is your partner. I kind of feel like maybe you may be having a false mask. I feel like maybe you may be angel number 2. You know how a lot of us women, we can get in a relationship. I don't know. People do this all the time. So let me not just put it on women. But you know when you get in a relationship and you kind of put your best self forward and it's like, you know, you don't want to cause the waves. You suck the best dick. You know, you're so crazy. You're so freaky. But then 6 months down the line, you don't like sucking dick. You're not so crazy. You're not so freaky, right? Like you put on your representative come. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you do that a lot. Like a lot. And your representatives stay around for like maybe 6 months to a year, 2 years. And then the 2-year mark, you're in a relationship and this guy thinks that you're the best thing since sliced breads, and then you flip it on him. And you're like, no, bitch, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. But it's only because that's what you were taught in your past. Like you was taught that you had to perform for love. Hey, I've done it before. I know I can speak so well about it because I am from it, okay? And I feel like what God is saying is that in order to give your relationship a chance, in order for you to have the divine partnership that you ultimately want, we can't have you in relationships with false masks. Like, honestly, for some reason, I'm hearing like, don't ever have a representative. I feel like from day one, you need to be your true self. There's no need for you to be faking the funk. If you ultimately want to get the love that's meant for you, then you don't have time for me to fake the funk. I knew a girl that you know, she used to mess with girls back in the day, but then like when she get into, now she's not messing with girls, but she don't want to tell the guys that she used to mess with girls. And a little bit of that is a little deception, because it's like the thing is, we can't deny parts of ourselves. There was one, I used to be super into claws. And like Uncle Daddy was just like, you know, the key to a long-term marriage is like making sure that you marry the right woman, making sure that you have the right partner. And he like, look at me and my wife, we've been married for 30 years. And then he kissed her and then turned around and kissed his boyfriend. And like, as crazy as that scene was, it's the truth. So it's like, if you're in a relationship and like you have bisexual tendencies, because I'm really getting that, or if you have like things that you desire, what God is saying, don't put on a false face. Don't act like you're into one thing and you're really not into it. Like, don't act like you can go with the flow and that you really don't want a relationship. You just want to have fun when you know deep down inside you really want a relationship. What God is saying is that, yes, you may have done that in the past. And I mean, honestly, like, look at, did it work in the past? Like, if you've done that in the past, ask yourself, did it work? Yes or no? come to your conclusion on your own. But I feel like what God is saying is, let's stop doing that. Let's stop putting up these fake masks when we meet people, and just to trust ourselves to be our true self. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable, but like this card says, as you release and heal your past, as you learn to accept yourself more, then you'll be able to be true to yourself, and you'll be able to present yourself in the best light. Like, you don't have to worry about, oh, let me say what he think, what he want to hear. It's really just about being true to yourself. But ultimately, what God is saying is that if you want to have, if you want to have a partnership with someone, a healthy partnership, then you have to take away the false mask, and you have to start healing your past so that you can grow and become the person that you're ultimately meant to be. Okay? Clarify this message of deception and forgiving and learning. Give your relationship a chance. God, give us a tool that we can use to just teach us about not being, not allowing our representative to come out. How can we be as honest as possible in the beginning and not being afraid of, being rejected or people not understanding us? God, how can we accept our true self so that we can give our relationship a chance and get those people and relationships that are ultimately meant for us? God, allow no room for doubt and confusion. Just give us one card, one tool that we can use. What's one tool that we can use? Okay, so he said, don't do that. He said, page number 614, told me don't do that, and I still did it anyway. I'm so hurt. Y'all don't know no better. I don't know no better. Alright, deception. Alright, so for deception, it says, deception. I'll not ask others to become different from me. Woo! Here we go. This is the problem. Let's read this card because it's deep already. Someone is wearing a false mask with angel number 646. I'll not ask others to become different from me. Let your vibrational relationship escrow, procreate, and give it your undivided attention so that you become a vibrational match to it. And then when the law of attraction brings all of it together, there are not any bugs to work out. Do not ask the person who helped you to define what you want to become what you want so that you can have what you want. Instead, use your willpower to focus upon what you want. Then the universe will bring you what you want. So I feel like what God is saying is that, again, it's like about us for so often when triggers come up in relationships or when we are uncomfortable in relationships, what we do is, especially in our most intimate relationships, is we blame the other person. The relationship didn't work out because of him, or he's not this, or he's making me do this. And we say, we're always asking the person to change for us. But what this card is telling us, what that really is doing is putting on a false mask, because it's not that person that needs to change. It's really you that needs to change. Like, you need to ask yourself, well, why does this bother me? Why does that bother me? Like, I have to tell myself, like, with my ex, I'm realizing, like, the way that we look at money and the way that we view money and the way that we want to acquire money are two different ways. And it's like, at first that was like really bothering me, because I'm like, damn, like, and I realized it's because I wanted him to just automatically agree with me. I kind of wanted him to change, once again, going back to my old self, wanting him to be on my page. But what I have to realize is that, again, how I go about making my money or how I go about, my relationship with money, it has nothing to do with him. And I have to just focus on myself and not focusing on how what he's doing is making me feel. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's about us taking accountability. That is coming back again. It's like taking accountability for what we want. Angel number 841. Do not ask the person who helped you define what you want to become what you want so that you can have what you want. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do not ask. So this person came into your life. He told you that you wanted love, and he taught you that you wanted love and freedom. But if that person can't do the things to become the love and freedom, you still get to have the love and freedom. You just need to focus on having love and freedom, and then everything else will come. That person may see you and be like, oh, okay, I see it's working for her, then maybe I should do it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, we don't need people to agree with us and to be on our wave in order for us to be okay. Do you hear what I'm saying? You can't, in order for you to get the divine partnership that you deserve, you can't change what you want because of the person that you're in relationship with. You should be able to still be yourself, even if that person isn't able to be on your same wave. You see what I'm saying? Like, if this person, if it's triggering something, it's not for you to act like this is not what you really want or to put on a false mask. It's for you to be like, okay, this is what I really want. Let me just focus on what I really want instead of, again, focusing on the other person. I ain't gonna dwell that over. Forgiving and learning. By default, I could have attracted unwanted relationships. Oh my God, I have a whole article. It's the Malcolm and Marie article where I talk about this default setting that we have. When you grew up in a home or in an environment where you learned to perform for love, or where you learned you had to do certain things from love, or if you had just a childhood where your basic needs was not met, then by default, you may end up in some fucked up relationships. But it's not because you're a fucked up person. It's because that's all you know. Like, it's just it's really kind of fucked up. Like, that's why if adulting and like healing myself has taught me nothing, it's just that those first 1 to 4 years is so fucking important. Angel number 1047, because it literally teaches you how you're gonna love, who you're gonna love. Like, it literally, those first 1 to 4 years of your life, like, it creates your whole fucking personality. And if your parents was too busy to love you and nurture you, then you spend your whole life chasing that, putting on false masks in order to have that. But what God is saying is that if you just heal yourself, if you just identify that, you know, you didn't have the best father, you didn't have the best mother, but that doesn't mean that you're not worthy of it. That doesn't mean that your relationship can't get there. It's just that you can't focus on that other person. You have to focus on yourself. And what this message is trying to let you understand is that as you work on yourself, either it's going to work with that person or it's not. So often we get into relationships when we're, you know, especially when we start getting on our road of improving ourselves, we looking at our partner, we want to shit on them or we want to judge them for them doing something differently. But it's like, why are you judging them? There's nothing, like, because 5 years ago you wasn't doing what you was doing. So why are you judging that person because they're not on your same wave? You see what I'm saying? It's like, you don't have time to judge anybody. All you have time for is to just focus on yourself and to be an example of what you want. All you can do is just keep focusing on that. And either that person is going to give it to you or they're going to naturally vibrate out. So it's also telling me, like, it's no need for this conflict. It's like, also, I'm getting that the deception is why you're having a fucked up relationships. Because you keep putting on a false mask. Because you keep pretending you want things that you don't want. It's like, admit what you want. Say what you want. Okay? Let's read this. Many other relationships or experiences you have attracted, you would not have deliberately attracted if you had been doing it on purpose. But your attention is done by deliberate intent, but rather by default. But your attraction is done by deliberate intent, but rather than default. That don't make sense. Let me read that again. Many other relationships or experiences you have attracted, you would not have deliberately attracted if you had been doing it on purpose. But much of your attraction is not done by deliberate intent, but rather by default. That makes sense. It is important to understand that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. And chronic thoughts about unwanted things invite or ask for a match of those experiences. The law of attraction makes it so. And so again, it's like the deception. You focusing, you feeling like, well, I have to perform for love. I have to put this mask on for love. And guess what you're getting? A fake ass love, right? Because of the law of attraction. That's what God is trying to get you to understand. You can't fake it with God. If you ever want to know, like, what is your life like, look at what you've been attracting. Like, you can't fake it. Like, whatever you're thinking about is what you're living out in your life. So if there's been a whole bunch of chaos and turmoil in your life, then guess what? It's like a whole bunch of chaos and turmoil in your mind, right? So what God is saying is, even when it comes to your relationships, you have to, you know, think about what you're thinking about. You have to be mindful of how you're talking to your partner, how you're moving in your relationship. You have to be mindful that you're not putting on false masks, and you have to be mindful that you're not asking other people to become what you can't even become. Okay? I really truly feel like the essence of this whole thing, my every thought is attraction is vibrational essence, is that God is saying is that if you think that only the worst is going to come from relationship, you're only going to get the worst. If you feel like you have to put on a false mask or you have to put on these false pretenses in order to get love, then you're going to get a fake ass relationship. Well, God is saying you take the mask off, you work on yourself, you work on the things that you desire, and then you work on yourself, you work on the things that you desire, you heal yourself, you overcome your past, you release your past, then by natural default, you will be able not even by natural default, but by universal law, you will get all the things that you desire. So it's like, I really truly feel like God is saying when you be true to yourself and you love yourself and you accept yourself fully, you will get the love that is ultimately meant for you. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm actually going to get you guys a Sufi and then we're done. Angel number 1520. All right, God. Clarify this message of deception, forgiveness, and learning. Give your relationship a chance. I will not ask others to become different from me. By default, I could have attracted unwanted relationships. And every thought is attracting. God, how can we be mindful of our own thoughts, making sure that we do not put on false masks in relationships? How can we just work on healing ourselves so that we can get the love that is ultimately meant for us, allow no room for doubt and confusion? And also for you guys that are in relationships, I just feel like what God is saying is, it's not that your partner is fucked up or that something's wrong with your partner. You really need to look at yourself. Stop pointing everything on the other person, okay? It's not them. It's not them. Look, let go of control issues. It's not them. It's you, boo. Because if you keep doing this, you're going to end up in separation, okay? You're not going to be able to get the children that you ultimately want, and then your children is going to suffer from that. So stop. You need to really look at yourself and ask yourself, are you doing all the things that you're asking this person to do? Men and women. You're asking this woman to, give you all of this freedom and to love you like a man and to lead y'all. But are you letting her know that she's protected and valued? Like, are you giving that to her, You have to become what you want. Life purpose, seek your own deeper vision of life. Ooh, angel number 17. Again, God is like, fuck focusing on the other person. Focus on yourself. All right, let's read this. Life purpose. Seek your own deeper vision for life. For 30 years, I was searching for God. And for 30 years, I was searching for God. And when my eyes were finally opened, I discovered that it was God who was seeking me. Looking for the truth, for God, or for the beloved is the fundamental theme of Sufi devotions. Many of their mystical discourse and writings are centered on a theme of searching for the ultimate truth. But Baptiste is proclaiming here that what you seek is already there, waiting to connect with us. Our true purpose in life is already set in our DNA. We have to find our way into it. We do this by taking steps towards our goals and by trying new things. The more we act on this, the more we find clarity. This oracle is encouraging you to see yourself moving through darkness towards the light. Affirm that you have the power to create and to heal the limitations within you. Love sets you free to be aware of a personal universe within you. You are guided to learn to access this deeper capacity by trusting and opening to it. Through faith, the boundaries of Earth and its atmosphere seem to open to allow you to touch and experience a new reality. Dear one, know that when your life is working as it is meant to be, your entire existence flow quite easily. Take charge of your life and keep reminding yourself that you can do this. Start now and begin to follow what attracts you. Develop interest that renews your energy, even if you realize you may have to change your course. As you discover your true purpose in life, you naturally become more loving and helpful to other people. When this happens, your relationships will also improve. Angel number 1855, and for some reason that message was reminding me of last week's message. Was it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago? And I was saying how the reason why it's so important for you, because we had the message about, your love life, your career was affecting your love life, or your career and finances was affecting your love life. And then this message come out. Again, I'm reminded that what God is trying to get you to understand is that by you working on yourself, I feel like for some reason, walk with me, y'all. For some reason, I feel like somebody wants to do something and they're telling themselves, I can't do this because I have, I'm in a marriage, or I have to do this for my I have to focus on my relationship, or that time has passed. But I feel like what God is saying, whatever that thing that you're thinking about doing, angel number 1946, it's going to help your relationship. Like, actually, you denying that you want this is putting up this false mask, and is what is dictating this tension in your relationship. So what God is saying is, as you focus on the things that make you happy, doing more hobbies, working out, just doing things to make you feel good, to keep healing your past, then it's going to naturally change everything. It's naturally going to affect your relationship. It's going to heal everything. It's going to heal yourself. It's going to heal your relationship. It's going to heal your family, because you're going to be a naturally whole person. So again, what God is saying is that you have to work on yourself first. You have to work on making sure that you are becoming the person that you want to be, that you're living your hopes and dreams. And then when your person probably sees you living your hopes and dreams, then it will give them an example. But it's not going to happen by you trying to tell them, you do this, you change for me. No, you focus on yourself and just allow the relationship to unfold naturally. Okay? All right, y'all. If that is your hope, put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. As you ponder your purpose in life, keep asking these questions of yourself. What is it that I love to do? Why am I here? What is my life purpose? The answer may not come up the first day or even the first week, but they will eventually come to you when you seek to respond sincerely from your heart. Angel number 2111. And so for some reason, I was getting this image of a woman who is like late, like maybe in her 50s. 60s. Like, she feels like life is over. She's had kids, and I feel like, maybe her relationship may be on the rocks, and she doesn't know what to do. And I feel like what God is saying is that it's time for you to get back focused on you. It's not you're looking at your partner and you're asking him, well, why are you not doing this? And the kid's not here. We should be doing this and we should be doing that. And you're putting all this pressure on him when you really need to look at yourself. The reason why you're pointing to him is because you're not filled inside of yourself. And maybe, for the last 50 years, you have only known to look to him. Y'all have only been able, maybe you've been putting it into your kids, into him. But now God is saying, if you want to become whole, if you want to live these dreams, only you can do that. Only you know what you really want to do deep down inside. So instead of pointing at that other person, point at yourself, ask those questions of what you truly want to do so that you can get the life that is truly meant for you, okay? All right, y'all. That is all the messages I have for you. If it was beneficial for you, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message and you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Angel number 2222. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never let someone tell you what you cannot do. I am thinking about opening up my books again, so if you're interested in it, please let me know so I can put you on the waiting list. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.